So which white wall do you guys think would be best for my YouTube videos? I know this doesn't look like a different wall, but it's a different wall. RIP to the YouTubers with bad backgrounds. This is literally a Bratz blanket. It's kind of a flex because no one really has Bratz merch anymore, and these go they're really expensive on eBay, I think, but I'm not giving this away. I rushed to get this filmed in daytime, but the sun is going down. Hello and welcome to a video in which I talk about things that are going to be released in my favorite month, Monstober. So I'll have a playlist of all the trailers that I'm gonna talk about linked in the description if you guys want to check them out. I hate to be one of those YouTubers, but without further ado, let's get into it. Interview with the Vampire. When I heard they were making a TV show for this book series, I was like, I can't scream. I can't do that. If you guys don't know, this is a very popular book series, and 2 movies were released about the series. So when I was a 7th grader, the teachers at my school made us read the books for holiday homework. And the whole time I was like, am I supposed to be reading this? This is not a book for kids. They were geniuses because they changed the trajectory of my life into making me a vampire enthusiast. If you guys don't know what the books or the movies are about, they're about so in my script I put questionable images flash on screen, but I can't do that because my family watches my videos. Hi, Mom. Yeah, it's like a vampire being interviewed. So it's about this guy who talks about this other guy who made him a vampire and their adventures. So it's it's about a vampire and just his life and what he's been through. And it's cool. It's cool, okay? It's cool. I love how they chose to make the main character a man of color when he has otherwise always been portrayed as white so far. Spirit Halloween. I don't understand why people are mad about this movie. Let the little Halloween store make its little movie. What's so bad about it? Now, the main reason I'm excited for this is that it's a spooky kids movie. I love spooky media for kids. It's my favorite genre. I'll admit the production quality doesn't look that good, but it's a kids movie. Even if the plot is bad, this is a kids movie. It's not for adults. So if you don't like it, it's not for you. So the plot of this is a bunch of kids get locked in Spirit Halloween, which is a Halloween store, for a night, and they come face to face with a ghost that haunts the animatronics in the store. I like how the plot insinuates that the main ghost or whatever in the movie was a landlord, and he was cursed to live as a ghost forever because he kept asking a witch for rent. That's exactly what you get for being a landlord. Also, this is a September 30th release, so not technically an October release, but it will keep people talking about it all throughout October, so it's a pretty smart marketing technique. Up next on the list, we have Hocus Pocus 2. Top 10 cultural moments. So if you don't know what Hocus Pocus is, I'm sorry you weren't brainwashed into liking American pop culture as a child, because that was me, and I went crazy for this movie as a kid. It was directed by Kenny Ortega, the same man who did the High School Musical movies, who I think was a choreographer on Dirty Dancing, who directed Julie and the Phantoms. Mr. Ortega, your filmography. What Mr. Ortega has done for children's media, I'm speechless. Mr. Ortega, thank you for your service. This is a sequel to the renowned original film, and the plot in this one is kind of similar to the first. It's about some kids who accidentally summon some witches, and they have to stop the witches because the witches eat kids. This reminds me of this one sleepover I had with a friend, and she was like, so who do you like? Zac Efron? And I was too scared to say no, the cat from Hocus Pocus. But I was right. And I should have said it. So I said, yeah, Zac Efron. There's nothing wrong with Zac Efron. He's a cool guy. Up next, we have My Best Friend's Exorcism. I'm so excited for this. It seems like so much fun. This is also a September 30th release, so technically not an October release, but it will keep people talking throughout the month of October, which is a good marketing strategy. I brought up the ISO to make it brighter because it's dark now, and I don't have any good lighting. So sorry if it's grainy. I'm just really good at filmmaking. I'm so good at it. So the movie is about two girls who live in the 80s, and one of them gets possessed by a paranormal force, and the other girl has to try to get her friend exorcised. It just seems like so much fun. Miss Elsie Fisher is in this, and 8th Grade is one of my favorite movies. I loved her performance in that, so I'm really excited to see her in this. I feel like this falls into not kids movie category, but also not teen movie category, more so tween movie category. I love spooky kids and tween media. Best genre there is. When I first found out about this, I was like, Despite it being about the friendship of two girls, neither the director or the person who wrote the book this movie is based off is a woman. Like, I'm glad the script for the movie is at least written by a woman, because as a man, what do you know about female friendships? Like, why are you here? But then, once I found out that the script was written by a woman and that she has credits on Awkward, Good Girls, and Resident Alien, I was like, oh, this is gonna be good. I looked up the credits for the author and the director as well. So the author has written the Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires and the Final Girl Support Group, which are both really popular in the book community. And the director has credits on Penny Dreadful, In the Flesh, which is one of my favorite TV shows of all time, and Killing Eve. So it's gonna be a blast. Please like and subscribe, please. Now moving on to Reginald the Vampire. So when the trailer for this popped up on my YouTube recs, I was like, I can't scream, my neighbors will hear me. There is no way to describe how excited I am to see Jacob Batalon play a leading man in a TV show about vampires. Now, if you don't know who Mr. Batalon is, he plays Ned in the Spider-Man movies. I loved him as Ned, and I know I'm gonna love his performance in this as well. So this is what IMDb says the plot is. In a world populated by beautiful, fit, and vain vampires, Reginald tumbles into it as an unlikely hero who will navigate every kind of obstacle and discovers he has a few unrecognized powers of his own. In the show, there seems to be a bit of a commentary on the concept of appearance, and that's really important considering how the main character is a plus-sized person of color. It just seems like it's going to be really exciting, and I'm disappointed that more people aren't talking about it. I love vampire media so much, and Jacob Batalon deserves this. So I just remembered that we have fairy lights. So here are fairy lights on my Bratz blanket for your viewing pleasure, because you need to have good lighting, good backlighting for YouTube videos. So next on the list, we have The School for Good and Evil. Now, if you don't already know, this movie is based off of a really popular middle grade book series where kids go to basically, like the title says, a school for good and evil. So if you're a good kid, you get sorted into a fairy tale protagonist, but if you're bad, you get sorted as a fairy tale villain. And this helps protect the balance between good and evil. I always see the books in bookstores and they just look so much fun, but I've never picked them up. And I'm also kind of worried because it's one movie, but there are 6 or 7 books if I'm not mistaken. So it's kind of scary what the fate of this will be, or if they've pushed everything into the books into one movie, which I wouldn't want to happen. I'm worried they've watered it down into one movie, when I think the franchise would have been better as a TV show. But hopefully it's good. And oh my god, the cast! Michelle Yeoh, Kerry Washington, Charlize Theron, Sophia Wiley, Sophia Ann Caruso from the Beetlejuice musical. Hello? Also, apparently it's 2 hours long, which is not a recommended runtime for live-action kids movies, so we'll see. But I'm really excited for this next one. Oh yeah! The Monster High movie. When this came out, like, the cultural reset that this was, y'all don't get it. Where were you when this music video dropped? Where were you when the Monster High theme song dropped? So if you don't know what this is, it's a live-action movie based off of a popular doll franchise called Monster High. And these dolls are basically the descendants of popular monsters, and they all go to high school together at this high school called Monster High. Now, a movie is coming out based off of those dolls. When the dolls came out, I was well out of my doll phase, but I couldn't deny how cool the dolls looked and how fun they might have been to play with. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm loyal to Bratz, but Monster High was something else. Bratz is still number one, though, in the list of doll franchises to me. Like, we can fight about this. I will win. I've seen clips from the movie, and it just looks like so much fun. And the songs sound good, too. Also, Frankie Stein, the child of Frankenstein in the movie, is non-binary, and they're actually played by a trans actor, which is so cool. Like, where was this kind of representation when I was a kid? I think the OG fans wouldn't like this movie, but as someone who was never really a huge fan of the dolls and only admired them from afar, I think it's gonna be really fun. Okay, so number one on my list of things that I'm excited about, Wendell in Wild. So I saw this trailer on Twitter like 2 weeks ago and I screamed. I mean, maybe I didn't scream, but I did have an audible gasp moment. So this movie is by Henry Selick, the man who directed Coraline and The Nightmare Before Christmas. I know Tim Burton didn't direct either of those. It's also produced by and stars Jordan Peele. So basically the plot is, with the assistance of a 13-year-old girl, two demons try to get into the land of the living. I remember how my parents took me to see Coraline at the movies when I was a kid, and I had a fever at the time, and my parents thought, okay, maybe watching something at the movies that's meant for kids would make my fever better, because when you're sick, mental health is important too, but it actually ended up making my fever worse. That's how scared I was watching Coraline. So with Henry Selick directing this, I just know it's gonna be good. Not to mention that the main cast are all people of color too. I'm just happy to be seeing more representation in children's media. Like and subscribe, let me know what you're most excited about in the comments below. Bye.